Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning right before daybreak here in Surfside, California. Welcome to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Please give us a big old smash and a thumbs up. If you give us a like, it means a lot to us. There's so much exciting stuff going on. An albacore taken near San Clemente Island. We'll have the details on that. And of course, lobster season opens up tomorrow night. Our Name the Boat contest continues until Monday, when we will award the winner a big box of swag. We've got the Mexico bite, we've got the San Diego bite, we've got everything right on up to the Channel Islands. You know what time it is? Good morning, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Hey everybody, let me start out by saying thank you to the over 5,000 people who joined us yesterday morning on the morning briefing. We deeply appreciate all your support. Hitting that like button means so much to us. As we move toward 1 million views, we are so fortunate to have you out there on our side, because we can't do it without each and every one of you, and I sincerely appreciate it all. All right, we got a great show. First of all, we are continuing our Name the Boat contest. Now, Ricky Carbajal, good friend of mine, he's going to have a boat operating out of Puerto Vallarta next year, and it's going to be fantastic. It's a beautiful rig, and he's sparing no expense to make it even more comfortable. Put bigger bait tanks, a new sonar, air conditioning, you name it, Ricky's doing it. But the one thing he still needs is a name for his precious vessel, and on Monday, Ricky or somebody over there is going to pick the name they like the best, name the boat that, and then, of course, send you out a big box of swag. So all you got to do is go to our comment session on our YouTube channel and put your guess up there. What is the name of Ricky's new boat? And if you'd like to get on the waiting list with Ricky so that when he starts taking reservations for this new rig down there out of Puerto Vallarta, give him a call at 801-913-9619. Thoughts and prayers go out to Eddie Leland. We send him all our very, very best. He is fighting cancer. He's doing a great job. He's keeping a great attitude, and he's doing that because of all your love, support, and prayers. It means so much to him. All right, and of course, we have a big show Tuesday night. It's going to be a live show, and it's going to be one of the best and biggest we've ever had, because Roger Eckhart, who has been in this game for many, many years, Roger knows more about tackle and fishing, all of that stuff, than I have in my little finger. And he's going to be there with our good friend and regular Brian Wynn, another guy with vast amounts of knowledge, and they're going to help you improve your sport fishing game. And you can ask any question you want. Just type a question in, and you'll be able to get Roger to give you an answer, or Brian. It's going to be a great show. And of course, we'll have some stuff we're giving away. We'll have some trivia questions. I'm sure Anthony will have a couple of morning briefing questions for you. We'll have all that and some upcoming great Friedman Adventures events that you're going to want to take part in, including a beach cleanup day that we're going to be doing here in the very near future. Bring the kids. We'll have a lot of fun with that. We'll have our celebration for 1 million views. And of course, that'll be a freebie. Come down to 22nd Street Landing. You can take a tour of the studio, get a photo in there with yours truly. It should be a great day, and a lot of other stuff. This Tuesday night, we're going to be back at 7 p.m. for this Tuesday. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great show. All right, I know you think I'm making this albacore thing up. So here's the deal. Let me give you the deal here, and you can believe it or not believe it. So, because I wasn't there to see the fish get caught. I've got a photo of it now, and James Mosier. Now, James was on the show just the other night from Newport Landing in beautiful Newport Beach, California. James is a great guy. Trust him 100%. His neighbor is a guy that was a captain in New Zealand, a fishing boat captain, named Mark Harry. That's his neighbor. His neighbor was out fishing with a guy at San Clemente Island when they caught an albacore 2 days ago in 100 feet of water. I know that seems really, really shallow, but that does happen. I've seen it happen in the past, so around San Nicolas Island and other areas where albacore will get up and in there. They presented us with the photo, and I'm telling you, James says, this is straight info. This is absolutely the truth. Here it is. Here's the albacore. My neighbor, I trust him 100%. He wouldn't make this up. So there it is, albacore, 2 days ago at San Clemente Island. That doesn't validate my prediction, by the way. Remember, I was talking about a run of albacore, not another single albacore like we had last year on the new low end. So once again, everybody, here it is. There's that albacore photo 2 days ago at San Clemente Island. This fish was taken. I've got James Mosier from Newport Landing telling me that his next door neighbor, Mark Harry, is a guy you can believe. So there you have it. Take it or not. And hey, go ahead, throw a comment up on our YouTube channel. I want to know what you think. Is this a real deal or is it a phony deal? I got to take it to the bank because James is a great guy, and the guys that he's going to hang out with, I'm telling you, it's got to be a good, straight info deal. And I am loving it. I'd love to get the guy on who caught the fish, or even Mark on the show to talk to them a little bit. Maybe Tuesday night we'll be able to pull that off. I'll reach out and see if we can't make that happen. All right, so let's go south of the border down to Ensenada, as I like to go down there and talk to our friends on the Pongas, and they continue to have some good catches. The weather's moderated down there. It was windy for a while. It's much nicer, so the pongeros can get out, look for kelps. There's Dorado on the kelps. There's more and more skipjack, yellowfin tuna, and there's some good shots of BFT biting now. Also, those bluefin are really starting to chew. 25 to 50 pound grade, biting the 25 to 40 pound fluorocarbon. www.opsonusa.com. Make sure you put in FA at checkout. It's really a good bite. 2.0 size hook. Now, some guys like the circle hooks. Remember, you don't swing on a circle hook. You just put your reel in gear and let it come tight, and then it will get hooked. Other guys like to swing and set the J hook. I don't know which is better. I surmise that the circle hook has been working better here recently, so that's probably what you want to go with. And a good hot bait, as always, working really well. So there are good signals and signs down there for the Pongero fleet. We like to look down there, not only because we like to fish with those guys, but because it's just a preview of what's coming. And of course, we have San Diego boats down there, which we are going to get into in a moment, but I like to get that perspective from those guys down there on the Mexican coast. It always gives us an indication of what lies in our future and what perhaps might cross the border and filter into Southern California. I still think that we have a chance for a lot more yellowfin and biting fish up here. I think we could get that Dorado back on the bite here in the LA Orange County area. I think it's a long way from over, and we have other things up here providing action. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but things are definitely looking much better. All right, let's talk San Diego right now. And the San Diego fleet just keeps churning along. That season down there is a long way from over. From the boats that leave in the morning and come back the very same evening to the day and a half and 2.5 and 3+ day trips, they are magnificent right now. It can't get much better. How about yesterday on board the boat San Diego? 37 bluefin tuna, 3 yellowfin tuna, and 50 Dorado. Nice mix of the tuna and the Dorado. Now, it's really excellent fishing. Again, many times in these bites, these fish are starting to fire up a little bit better. They're biting the 40 pound now with a 2.0 hook and a good hot fly line bait. That seems to be the preferred method on the tuna. Right now in the Dorado, we're biting the same thing. You just have to gauge the intensity of the bite, and you have to be careful about the grade of fish. If it's all big fish, you know, the guy in the tanks can let you know. He'll say, man, these are big fish walking up the chum line right now. You better go to the heavy. You want to make friends with the guys on the boat right away. You want to make sure they're on your side. You want to have a conversation with them so you can look up there or look at a deck and say, what should I throw on this stop if you're new to the game? And they are there to help you for sure. How about the Grande? 36 guys, limits of Dorado, 72 Dorado. They were done before noon on board the Grande. And I think they got 6 days in a row of limit Dorado fishing right now. That is just excellent fishing. It doesn't get much better than that. Tribute down there out of San Diego with limits of bluefin tuna and Dorado for 10 guys on a day and a half trip. How can it get much better than that? If you like to throw the iron, dive with Sacanas, Cold Snipers, working well, something with chrome in it. Remember, the fish you see on the surface crashing and boiling and making all that ruckus sometimes is actually about 10% of the actual body of fish present. Sink that jig down, give it at least a 10 count, and if you don't get whacked on the sink and hang a fish, then when you start winding, you're coming back through the major part of the school, and hence you're going to have a much better chance of hooking up really, really great stuff. Danny Illustri, Glenn Chang on the Aztec on a Moon Custom Charter Rods trip. Moon was on our show not that long ago. That was a great podcast. I was with Brian Wynn also. Go back in the archives and listen to it. And his rods, his custom rods, are a work of art. Anyway, on that trip, limits of yellowfin, limits of Dorado, really nice fishing going on. And it simply can't get much better than it is right now. So we've got excellent fishing down there. Now, also, the Mission Bell was out. And on the Bell, they had originally had planned to go to the Coronado Islands, but something happened where they said, you know what? This bite is way too good to go to the islands where there's decent yellow action right now. So they went offshore yesterday, and my good friend Sean Hardigan running that rig out of Point Loma Sport Fishing with a really nice score. He had 22 guys, 13 bluefin tuna. Nice hit on the Dorado with 39. Remember, when you're offshore out of San Diego, you do not need a passport. Passports are not necessary. Ay, qué rico. All right, so some good offshore fishing. Now, bluefin tuna fishing around San Clemente Island, excellent. It's not for everybody. Not everybody gets them every single night. It's mostly a nighttime bite, but there's more daytime fish being taken. Also, this wind and weather seems to be coming down. The 540 Slinger Boys will be on board the Pride on a 2-day trip this weekend. More likely fishing yellowtail at San Clemente Island and then heading out to those big bluefin tuna. And Jeff Yeomans, who's sitting there with his cup of coffee right now and a big smile on his face. Jeff, I send you all my best. I hope you guys and the 540 Slingers Club have an absolutely phenomenal trip on board the Pride this weekend. That bite is good. You want to fish heavy line when you're out there. There's a lot of 50-pound fish. There's also fish to 200. You don't want to fish anything less than 100-pound, 200-pound leaders on your jigs, and I'm going 200 to 500 grams depending upon depth, wind, and current. Talk to the crew once again. And really important, Joe Martinez will tell you that. And good morning, Grace. Grace is Joe's wife. She watches the show every day, Grace. Really appreciate it. Remember, Joe says, and this guy's a guy that has caught a 300-pounder every trip he goes on with us. He's always catching fish. You might as well not get in the jackpot if Joe's on the trip. I'm telling you right now. He said, paying attention when the captain says drop, drop. Don't scratch your head. Don't look at your phone. Drop fast. Get down to where the captain says to get down to. The captain says the fish are at 300 feet. Joe drops to 350. And then he comes back up through that and then free swools and does it again. So that bite going along pretty well also. So we've got some really excellent stuff. Now, in terms of Dorado in the LA Orange County area, it's been really out of the picture. Guys were telling us that there's still fish on the kelps. They just don't want to bite. I've also heard a lot of guys checking kelps and nobody home. So that is something we're going to continue to watch for you very, very closely. Hopefully that we're going to get a rebite on that. I think we are, actually. I don't know if we'll get an influx of fish when we get away from the wind and the weather, or the fish that are here will turn on again. Only time will tell. We'll see how this all plays out, but I still think we're going to have a heck of a fall bite. It looks really good in terms of that. All right, islands down there, Todos Santos of Ensenada. Still some really good yellowtail fishing going on down there, and same thing at the Coronado Islands. There's a mix of other species. San Clemente Island, mix of scores. Those sea lions are driving everybody crazy, but Pat Whitaker, he's an old-time captain. He was down here for the weekend. Pat was out there on a private boat. He said he had phenomenal yellowtail fishing, really great. He said the sea lions didn't really bug him, didn't follow him around. They were following the sport boats around, but Pat said it was great. yellow action there at SCI, a lot of big bass, and he also went out and did a little rock fishing, caught a bunch of reds. It was fantastic. Pat Whitaker's a great fisherman. He said the grade of fish, beautiful, 12 to 20 pounds, fly line bait, 25-pound fluoro, worked really, really, really well. So that is what I call some really excellent fishing. Sport boats, anywhere from a handful to up to 30, 40 fish on a regular basis. The other day on a day-and-a-half trip, Mark Paisano spent the whole day there and had 60 plus on the yellowtail. He said they bit everything they threw at him. Stick baits, yo-yo irons, surface iron, fly line bait. It was really remarkable, the various methods people used on that trip to catch those yellows. So I got my fingers crossed that Jeff and the 540 Slingers Club are looking down the barrel of a similar type trip. And up there, or I should say, at Catalina Island, I'm always picking on Catalina Island. There's some pretty good fishing going on at Cat right now. I've been brutal about it, but the Sport King yesterday had 10 yellowtail, 15 on bonita, and also 14 calico bass. Not bad at all. Pursuit had 5 yellowtail, starting to produce a little bit more. He also had bass, bonita, barracuda, 2 halibut. Not wide open, but picking and scratching over there. John Dickens was on board the Native Son, and he said he had really good calico bass. The big bass, John said, were on the Deans. He said throwing the Deans made all the difference in the world. And on that Native Son trip, they had a 9-pound calico bass. That is a big one, no question about it. So some nice fish in that neck of the woods. Up in the Channel Islands, mostly rockfish up there, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a flurry of sea bass. They've had some wind. I think that's what's really making it difficult up there right now, but some sea bass, some halibut, and then the omnipresent rockfish bite up there, which is so darn good and so much fun. Along the coast, we're seeing a little bit of bass, some yellowtail down there around San Diego for some local boats, calico bass up and down the coast. Redondo has had good bass fishing the other day on the Spitfire, some really good sand bass fishing for Nick Ramirez and Marcus Fain, those guys having a great trip. And the Victory, he fished locally yesterday out of Long Beach and had really excellent rock fishing, and then found some local bonita also. So some pretty darn good fishing going on there in addition to trying to get more of a bass bite, but able to provide excellent table fare, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know we're kind of coming back down to earth here right now with all this crazy Dorado and bluefin and yellowfin, but I don't think that's over quite yet. In the meantime, you can get out and have a really fun day, whether it's Catalina Island, whether it's going down to San Diego where they're putting the wood to it, whether it's hitting the Pongero fleet, or whether it's going out and catching some lobster here this weekend on Saturday. It should be a remarkable day. Don't forget, name the boat, put a comment up. Are you buying the Albacore story? Put a comment up. And once again, live show Tuesday night, which is going to be a great one. I can't wait for that. It's going to be fantastic. Not because of me, but because of all of you and our tremendous guests. It's going to be fantastic. Please smash that like button. It means so much to us. For the thousands of you joining us every single morning, I can't thank you enough. The thousands of hours consumed every month, I can't thank you enough. And as we move up on 1 million views, once again, you have my sincere thanks and gratitude. Wishing you a great day. Let me grab my coffee. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Wishing you a great day. Don't forget, there's an air show in Huntington Beach starting today. Should be really, really fantastic. Nothing better than an air show. I love the whole spectacle of those. So I hope you get a chance to do that. And I hope you have a great weekend. I hope I get to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.